We don't have service here, so we communicate by walkie-talkies. And you think you'll get a sun today, right?
Now that you said that, probably not.
All right, well, I'm no mechanic, but that doesn't look good.
So we've got a bit of a problem. I think I'm like cursed or something. Definitely gonna have an abundance of firewood for the cabin.
Bye, Crater.
He's trying to be very intentional with what he does cut. Obviously keeping the bigger, more established stuff, but also trying to learn about what everything is. All right, so today it is back on the road. Spencer's almost done with this first little chunk here, which he's gonna work on getting that done over the next 2 days, because in 2 days, we actually have a guy coming to look at the road and give us a quote and kind of a timeline so we can get gravel going. Do you think they're gonna be able to do it?
Yeah, I mean, there's one narrow section in the road which I'm hoping isn't going to require any work.
Right,
But
like carving into the mountain or anything.
Yeah, because there is a little bit of erosion and it gets a little narrow in that section, but
Right.
I mean, you still got several feet on both sides of the tractor, which the tractor's just slightly narrower than the truck, so I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Fingers crossed, because it has been surprisingly difficult to contact somebody to come out here and like to get somebody to build the road.
Right.
So I'm really nervous. Like, we haven't even had anybody come out and look at it yet. Like, if he can't do it, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and the other company that I talked to, they tried to talk me out of using them, so
I think this one's gonna work out.
hope so.
Hey babe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we're gonna head your way in a minute. Do you want me to bring anything from here? Do you want any food? Alright, we'll be heading that direction in a minute. Love you. We don't have service here, so we communicate by walkie-talkies. And even that, sometimes if he's at a certain spot around the mountain, that it doesn't really work. But all right, you guys ready to head to Daddy? It's definitely better than nothing. All right, I got the goods. 2 waters and chainsaw oil. We're headed your way. I don't know what he said, but all right, let's go. It's looking really good. We've done a lot of work.
It's a lot of cutting things by hand. I need some sort of attachment for the tractor.
Weeks and weeks of work.
Slow. And it's just that there's so many trees and so many branches, and it's just like, yeah.
Right.
So now that all my trimming is done on all the branches and everything and small trees, what I'm going to focus on is just dragging the roads, removing the topsoil, and just kind of creating a crown in the road in order to help shed water to make this road last as long as possible.
And you think you'll get this done today, right? Since the guy's coming tomorrow?
Now that you said that, probably not. Yeah, I should. Now that I have my little helper.
Oh my gosh, what a wet, muddy mess. Unfortunately, I think this is gonna be the type of thing that looks worse before it looks better. Let's just hope that that guy can get this graveled very soon. Cause I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be driving on this on the side of a mountain.
All right, well, I'm no mechanic, but that doesn't look good. I was literally just driving on our driveway, and that just happened. What the hell?
What ice doing?
He's coming to rescue us.
You're a rock star, babe.
All right, that was a total disaster. I literally go to drive to go get some drinking water, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, driving into town, but
yeah, and then all of a sudden I feel the front of the car drop and then start to drag. So upon inspection, what the heck happened?
from what I can tell, the lower ball joint, the nut just ripped clean off of the threads, and yeah, that allowed everything to just come disconnected. Like the axle got ripped out, brake line, it's got a lot of tension on it, and it looks like it's leaking. And that's just what I can see so far.
Yeah, obviously I had no steering control or anything, so he was just literally, as he's dragging me back, I'm just being dragged along the side of the mountain. Because I couldn't steer away from it, because the one wheel was causing it to go that way.
Right.
So.
You ruined my perfectly dragged road.
That is the worst part of this entire thing. I cannot believe that just happened. Like, he's almost done, and then I go to drive out and have to get dragged back, and now it's just destroyed. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't even, I cannot believe that just happened.
Well, I mean, I'm just not looking forward to the repair of that, because not only do we have to go and get all the parts to fix it all, but I don't have a ball joint press with me that's back at the house. I mean, hopefully I have the rest of the tools, which I should, but then it needs an alignment. Yeah, and I have to replace that front brake line, so that means I'm going to have to bleed all the entire braking system. So.
So we've got a bit of a problem.
What's that?
While you were gone walking the road with the guy, our power got really low.
Okay.
And we lost internet.
Okay.
So I went to start the generator.
Oh God, did you break the cord?
I broke the cord. Baby, I know. I couldn't believe it.
That means we gotta go get string.
I think I'm like cursed or something.
You keep breaking everything.
Seriously, the car, then that, like, if you could have only seen my face when that happened. I never start the generator. And then I go to do it and I break it. What's next?
I don't know if you should drive the truck or the tractor.
We don't have what we need to fix it.
No.
And we run the generator literally every day. It's required because power is always low, so we need to go get that.
Are you mad at me?
I know. It's like we have a million things to do and the list just keeps getting longer and longer. You did it.
Yeah, the string length isn't correct, but without the internet, I just kind of winged it. It works. I just got a little bit extra flop in it, but whatever.
Now the big question is, what will go wrong next? You know things come in threes, so I'm expecting something else.
I'm just going to need you to not touch anything.
So a bit of an update on everything. The car is still broken. We went and got all the parts to fix it, but we actually got a ton of rain last night, so the ground is just totally saturated. So Spencer's not gonna be working on that today, but once it does dry up, he's gonna work on fixing that. Then the next thing is the road. So as far as all of the clearing and cleaning it up, that is all done for the portion that we're going to be graveling here soon. But before we can do that, we do still need to address water mitigation. So what we're going to need to do is dig a ditch along the road and also dig down and install some culverts in points that we're worried about, because obviously we want our road to last as long as possible, so that needs to be addressed before we build it. So all of that being said, we are going to be renting a mini excavator. Right now it's the weekend, so we have to wait a couple days to do that. So all that being said, what we're going to be doing today is continue working on the cabin site, just working on, again, clearing it, cleaning it up. There's still a lot of work to be done here, but it's definitely come a long way. And I know that we're kind of all over the place. We have a lot of different things going on. It's just, obviously everything is so dependent on the weather and upon other people and their schedules and if it's the weekend or not. So yeah, this is what we're gonna do today. So is this a pretty easy process, detaching and attaching new attachments, or no?
I mean, it's become easier, but it's still, it's something this big. There's a lot of micro adjustments. I mean, it's a good thing they have this control panel allow me to move the tractor forward and back just a little bit, and up and down. But otherwise, this would take forever.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Definitely gonna have an abundance of firewood for the cabin.
That's for sure.
Why aren't you wearing flannel?
Is that the dress code out here?
Yeah, flannel and a beard. A little creature.
It's crawling in mud. Bye, creature.
I don't think it's gonna happen. The kids are freaking out and it's starting to rain.
Wants to keep informing us that it's about to rain, and Cam
Keeps falling off his bike.
Yeah, he's cranky. I think we're all a little cranky at this point.
For sure.
Small camper.
Come here, bud. It's pretty crazy how much better this looks. Like it looks so beautiful now, being able to actually see the forest floor some.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still so much to do and clean up.
Yeah, it's just going through and thinning. This right in front of the cabin, obviously we don't want it to be super thick because I mean we want to have a little bit of view and also allow the more established trees to continue to be the most established, so we have larger trees.
Right.
And any of the thin stuff kind of take out unless it's like a cool plant or whatnot.
Right. Uh-oh.
And here comes the rain.
Oh my God, Bo. But yeah, with thinning it, he's trying to be very intentional with what he does cut. Obviously keeping the bigger, more established stuff, but also trying to learn about what everything is. For example, he has discovered that we have tons of fruiting trees in here. We have some plum trees, some chestnut trees, so many different cool things, which I absolutely love. So we're trying to keep a nice variety. Yeah, it's gonna be really beautiful when it's all done. But just for an example, real quick, when we're talking about like allowing trees to get bigger, this right here is a poplar tree. And that is roughly probably 10 to 15 years old. And the reason why I know that is because enough have been cut down now that we've seen the ring, so we know how old they are. So that's how old that one is that we're keeping. And if you can see that giant tree all the way over there, that's the same kind of tree. That's a poplar tree. And it is massive. So I can't even imagine what this place will look like in 50 years or more. I mean, heck, even another 20 years. Like, these trees are gonna be huge. All right, I better get inside. So what are all these little trees here that we have behind the camper?
All these jagged looking trees are all plum trees right here.
I just thought of something. This may be a coincidence. It may not, okay? There's a lot of plum trees in this one area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right behind where the old outhouse was. Maybe the previous owner really liked plums. I'm sure they're in other places, but it is kind of a coincidence.
That is true. Never noticed that before.
Just so you can see how far he's working. So up here is where the cabin is going to be. And then he's working on clearing up to where you can see that line where he stopped yesterday. You can see it starts to get really thick down there and it gets really low and starts to get muddy. So that's where we've decided to stop.
Yeah, so overall this whole area is probably a 1/4 acre. Actually, I'd say maybe even a little smaller than a 1/4 acre.
Yeah, the area that we're working on right now really isn't that big, but it feels big when you're just surrounded by the wilderness and don't have neighbors right on top of you.
Yeah, it feels big whenever you trim the bush.
Spencer, that's just like your go-to joke. You're just all about bush trimming. I think you said that like in the last video.
Yeah, just imagine you just trim the bush a little bit and it just really springs to life. Always remember to trim the bush. Yeah, another tree I see a lot of is a black locust tree. I've been studying all the trees in this immediate area and like what uses I could get out of them and stuff like that. And with this black locust tree, what's really cool is they make great fence posts because they are rot resistant. They're actually really rot resistant and it makes very good firewood. So I want to keep an eye out for these guys. This one I had already cut down, but you can tell it wasn't very healthy because these black locust trees like full sunlight and there's a lot of canopy cover here. And as a matter of fact, I think this one right here is also a black locust that's already died. So.
Well, that's why you're doing what you're doing. There's a lot of sunlight in here. And
yeah, and allow the more dominant trees to flourish.
Right. You know what?
What?
You're really becoming like quite the expert on wood.
I would, oh my god.
Just imagine all the knowledge you're gonna gain over the years about wood. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get this done today. He's currently looking up if plum tree wood is good firewood.
Wood from plum tree makes excellent firewood that generates heat and produces great coals. It also gives off a lovely sweet fragrance, ideal for meat smokers and other cooking methods.
Ooh. What are you doing?
Walking.
Gosh, it looks so much better. It just looks like the forest can breathe now. There's still so much canopy cover, but at least now there's a little less competition, so what's here can just grow and thrive.